Okay, so it's time for that video again, the best e-readers of the year. So we'll do a video about the best e-readers for me that I have used the most recently in this year, and also which e-readers I think of mine that is the best e-readers for next year, 2025. So here we have all of my e-readers. 8 e-readers, and please note again that this is not the latest e-readers, it's not all e-readers, and I buy all my e-readers myself, so that's why I don't always buy the recent, the newest e-readers, because I can't simply afford it, and I doesn't need them, so I can have older models for plenty of years because I think they are good for that. So that's why I don't have the latest e-readers sometimes in this case. So the one e-readers that I never use anymore and is in the bottom of this collection of e-readers is the Bigme B751C. And the reason for that is that this e-reader is a color e-reader, and I don't think a color e-reader is good for reading ebooks, and that is what I do. I don't read mangas or colored graphical novels or something, so I always only read ebooks in black and white ebooks. So because of this is a colored e-reader, that makes it a lot darker. The display is a lot darker because this is a color e-reader using Kaleido 3 display. And also I think this Bigme is very buggy. The UI, the software is very buggy, and I think the buttons doesn't work sometimes. In some apps it doesn't work at all, and sometimes they work very badly. And also the automatic rotation works not as good on this one, and so on. So I think this device is quite buggy, unfortunately. So that comes in last place of all my e-readers, in number 8. So this is the number 7, and that is the Kindle Basic, as you see here. The Kindle Basic. And the Kindle Basic is an excellent hardware. It has a very nice display. One drawback with the display is that it doesn't have any warm light, so it only has a cold front light and not any warm light. So that makes it harder for me to read at night, in the evening when it's really dark in the bedroom, for example. So this e-reader I don't use much anymore because of that, and also because it runs Amazon UI and Amazon store and everything that. I don't buy books from the Amazon store because that only has English books, and I read in Swedish. And Swedish books in the Kindle store is almost non-existent. So that makes it very hard for me to use a Kindle and read Kindle books on it. And also because it doesn't support Swedish, you don't have any Swedish dictionaries. I have hacked it and installed a Swedish dictionary by sideloading, but by sideloading a dictionary you don't get any updates from the dictionary, and the dictionary I have found for Swedish is not as good, and so on. So that is also a drawback with a Kindle device for me. But the worst thing with this small, nice, comfortable and very good build quality e-reader is that it doesn't have any warm light. So that device, that e-reader, comes in 7th. In 6th place comes this old Kobo Libra H2O. And this is a really nice e-reader. I really love the display still, even if it's so old. It still works and has excellent battery life still and everything. So that is awesome, actually. So if I will use this, you can actually use co-reader on this, and I love using co-reader because co-reader is the best software for reading ebooks. And a Kobo e-reader always support installing co-reader. So with co-reader, this e-reader makes it much better. It becomes much better. The UI, the features, the software, wireless, transferring, everything gets so much better using co-reader. And I really love using co-reader. But the reason why this device running co-reader with an excellent display and everything, the reason why this is in 7th place is because of these buttons. Yes, they work great in co-reader, no problem whatsoever with co-reader with these buttons, but I don't like the position of buttons. I don't like devices with buttons at the side like this, because my hands are bigger than most, so when I hold it like this, you see the bottom at the bottom here is very low for me. When I will read like this, I have my thumb at the upper button instead. And yes, I know you can change that in co-reader and also in Kobo's own software, that you will use this instead to go forward in the book, but that is not what I mean. I want to use the button at the bottom and the top sometimes, but for me, holding it like this, I always need to go back here with the thumb to go forward in the book and so on. I don't like that. I don't like the placement of these buttons. And I don't think it's ergonomical to read like this either. Yes, it works like this in co-reader, so you can change to this side and so on. So that all that works great in co-reader, so no problem with that. But as I said, I don't like having buttons at the side. It doesn't work for me like that. I don't like that. So if this should be a nice and good device, I would rather have the bezels around it and have it going back and forward by clicking on the display instead. I would rather have that. So that is why this Kobo Libra H2O comes in 6th place. In 5th place, this Big Me High Break color comes. This is a really nice ultra portable e-reader. I really love having this form factor. It's very portable, very nice in the hand, and it has a bit heaviness of it because the battery life is quite good on it actually. But once again, this comes in some of the last places because it has a colored display. I don't like Kaleido 3 displays because they are darker. I always need to have some front light on this because it's so dark when reading, and I don't like that. And another thing with the Big Me High Break is that they have used a cheap dimming technology called PWM, pulse width modulation, and that makes some people having headaches, and the eyes get tired fast because the display pulsates when using the front light. The eye sees that, but you can't see that, if you know what I mean. So the eyes see the pulsation of the display, but you can't do that. And that is something I don't like with the Big Me High Break. Why should they use a pulse width modulation on the display when this should be used to read a lot on? I think that's unfortunate. So for me, I have felt some dizziness reading with the Big Me High Break because of that, because the display with Kaleido 3 needs to have some front light on always. That makes it so that the pulse width modulation gets activated, and that's why I can't use this device anymore. So if this would be a black and white version instead, I would rather use that much more than this at least. But probably the black and white display also have pulse width modulation for the front light though. So that is a huge drawback. So that's why it comes in the 5th place. In fourth place, this Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition comes. And this is from 2022, I think it was, or 2021, I don't remember really. But this device has the best build quality I have ever felt in my hands when it comes to e-readers. It's so good. I really love this rubberized backside because it makes it so easy to hold in the hand. You will never drop this device, and it's so nice to hold in the hands. And I think you don't have any buttons on the side, so it's very nice to hold it in the hand, and you can easily swipe to go forward and back, and you can click on the sides to go wherever you want in the books and so on. So I really love that. A drawback is that you have the power button here at the bottom though, and that makes it easy sometimes when you have the finger here to turn off the device and so on by mistake. But otherwise I think the build quality and everything is great, and the battery life on this is a beast. I mean, you can use it forever almost. You can use it for plenty of weeks without charging. I think that's amazing. Really amazing. And I have used this a lot. Another huge drawback for me is that you can't run co-reader on it because you need a firmware that is older to be able to install co-reader on this Kindle, because this runs on a newer firmware. You don't have any root option. You can't install co-reader on it, unfortunately. So that's too bad. And another drawback, of course, is that it runs on Amazon's UI software, Amazon Store, Kindle Store, whatever, because it doesn't support Swedish. And as I said earlier, when I have the Kindle Basic, I need Swedish ebooks to read, and the Kindle Store doesn't have any Swedish ebooks, and also no support for Swedish dictionaries. I think that is not good at all. So that's why this comes in fourth place. So now we are at the top three. So here we have the top three. And as you see here, a device that I had in last place last year is now in third place. And that is many reasons for that. And one of the reasons is that this Storytel reader has become cult status and very hard to get, because Storytel has stopped manufacturing this. But it will still work with a Storytel account for many years to come. And I have just got a Storytel account, a premium account, so I can read as much as I want. So I can have the whole world's all books in Swedish on this, and have everything just click and read on this. You don't need to pay any more than a subscription every month to be able to read Storytel ebooks on this one. So it's so easy to just connect your Storytel account on this and have millions of books available just for you to read immediately on this device. So I think this device has become one of the most important devices for me and my wife. So that's why this is in third place now. And as I said in the last video, when it comes last, I said these buttons is not good because they are quite annoying, clicking back and forward with and so on, especially when you don't have the case on. But now, when I use this with a case, I hold it like a book like this and hardly never use that button then. So I hold it like this and go forward with this button all the time. So that is very nice and ergonomic way of reading actually. So I can go back and forward, back with this button, and forward with this button very easily, just like holding a book in my hand. And sometimes I even can go like this and read if I want. So because of this case, this Storytel reader gets a lot better ergonomical to read, and also the battery life on this device is amazing. It's as good as the Kindle Paperwhite. You can go for many weeks of reading without charging. And that is if you turn off Wi-Fi when reading. You can read books offline on the Storytel reader. Just download them from the Storytel account and they get available on this reader offline. And then turn off, put it in flight mode or turn off Wi-Fi, and you have battery life for many weeks to come. That is amazing. So just use it with Wi-Fi on when you need to download new books. You can download plenty of books before you need to use Wi-Fi again. So that's why this e-reader comes in third place. It's an amazing device with a Storytel account. And now we lastly come to the second place, and that is this Kobo Clara 2E. And here is the same with this device, that this runs co-reader, and without co-reader it should not be at the second place, trust me, because then it would be very low in this ranking, because I really love co-reader. The co-reader software makes any e-reader so good. And this device is so light in the hand. It feels like air when you're holding it. So light. The backside is a bit plasticky though, and I don't think you can easily drop it, if you know what I mean. It's not as good. It's a bit slippery to hold it, I think, but the weight of it makes it so good to hold because it's so light to hold it. So I really love this device for reading ebooks with co-reader on. It's amazing for that. So I really love the form factor of the Kobo Clara 2E. It's so nice. So that's why this is in second place of all the e-readers I have for 2024 and the coming 2025. But what device is at the top then? This is in the first place, and is Onyx Boox Palma 1. I don't have the Palma 2. This is the one, and I really love it. The form factor, the display, the weight of it, it's so light, and everything else is so good on this one. So nice. I mean, it's excellent. It's an excellent device, and the display is so light. So like now, I don't have any light on at the moment because I have nice light here in the studio. And the display is so nice. I can read it without the front light on. It's so bright and I love it. And if I want to turn the front light off, it's so easy to just scroll in the left side of it like this, and you see how light it gets. So light. Bright, I mean, but you know what I mean. So that's one of the best things with this is the form factor. It's an ultra portable e-reader, and it also runs Android, and that is a huge plus, because that means that I can run Storytel, the same Storytel account that I said I had on this e-reader. So I can sync. When I'm out and about, I always have this with me in my jeans pocket or in my bag. I can read in Storytel, and when I come home I can use this instead if I want to read my Storytel books at the same place where I left off on the Onyx Boox Palma. And the same thing with Kindle. I can read my Kindle books on this in perfect sync with the Kindle Paperwhite, for example. I can do the same with co-reader. I can install co-reader because this runs Android. So I can install co-reader and read my books in total sync with all my other devices running co-reader. And I can check my mail, I can read some Reddit stuff and Google News, and I can even browse the web with Chrome. I can do whatever I want on this device without pulse, with modulation, and I can read with pleasure everything I want to read on this device. So that's why the Onyx Boox Palma 1 is in top. It's in the first place of all my e-readers, and I really love it. So there you go. Now I have said which books I have in what ranking order and so on, and Onyx Boox Palma easily wins this year because this e-reader is the one I prefer using every day. I use it every day, many hours. So that is how good that device is. So I hope you like this video, and I will continue do these videos every year, and maybe also half year and so on, so to see which devices I use and which e-readers I use and so on every year. So okay, bye.